There's a reason you are watching this right now, and I'm really excited to have you here because I only teach this real estate strategy a few times a year, and it is a game changer. If you are someone who's been looking to get into real estate and you want to begin building a passive income, but find yourself saying, there has to be an easier way. Guess what? There is, and I am here to guide you. I am Ashley M. Fox, a proud Howard University grad and the CEO of Amplify, and also a former Wall Street analyst. And my mission is to help people, especially those who didn't grow up with money, achieve financial security. I have been in the financial industry for over 15 years, and I worked with clients that had at least $25 million of wealth. But the more I worked, the more I realized that the everyday person, just like you, needs to learn how to invest too. So I left Wall Street, and I wanted to bring this knowledge to you. I've been investing since 2012, and if I knew then what I know now, I would have started this strategy much sooner. The results have been life-changing, and the passive income, well, that's the best part. Imagine getting paid every single month because a company has to pay you. Imagine getting income every month without managing a tenant, needing a credit score, or starting with a bunch of money. So get ready, because I am going to break it all down. And make sure you bring your notebook and a friend. I promise you will be so glad that you came. All right, welcome everybody to the How to Invest in Real Estate starting with less than $200. Technology check. Can everyone hear me? Can you see me? I see we got Sonia here, Lisa Rogers, Shannon. Who else we have in here? Comment first time in the chat if this is your first time that you are tuned in to one of our Amplify classes. And also let me know where you guys are from, what you do for a living. Sean Hunter is here. Crystal is here. Elton is here. Comment first time. Let me know where you're from. I live in Atlanta, but I am from Philadelphia. We got Elvis's first time. Latanya is here. Christopher's first time. Nadine said, I am hyped. All right. Before we get started, I want to cover a couple of housekeeping items. One, this class is for educational purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. I am a financial educator. My job is to teach you how to fish. Throughout this session, we are going to go through tons of different strategies. We're going to go through tons of different companies. I am not providing any recommendations. You want to make sure you talk to your financial advisor, your tax strategist to make the best decisions for you and your money. But I am not giving any financial advice, but my goal is to teach you how this can be implemented and to see if this is something you actually want to implement for yourself and all your financial goals. I want everybody in the chat right now. Comment, I am a wealth builder. If you are here tuned into this class, we had a bunch of people register for this class, but you're not where you want to be financially, but I want you to know you are not behind. You are right on time. You are not perfect with your wealth. You are building it. I want everybody in the chat right now to comment, I am a wealth builder. And then after you do that, I want you to write, I invest in myself. One, it took some time to be here. Right. I know all of you are busy. I appreciate you for taking the time to spend the day with me to learn how we can invest. But how many of you have been wondering, Ashley, I've seen you talk on the internet, right? Someone forwarded me this class. How can I really invest in real estate with less than 200? How many of you saw the title of this class and said, what is she talking about? Is this even possible? Do I need a lot of money? Do I need a credit score? What kind of return am I going to get? How much money should I start with? Can I really make passive income? I hear you talking about REITs. What's a REIT? How does it work? Can this work for me, right? Now, I want you guys to imagine if you were actually able to make money from real estate investments that you made today. Imagine, Ann, if you were able to collect passive income every single time you started investing in a commercial property, but it did not require you, Donna, to start with a bunch of money. Imagine if you could live off your real estate investments, collect passive income, but not have to do any work, Miss Lisa Rogers. Imagine Sabrina, imagine Tia, if your family was actually able to live the life of their dreams because you took the first steps to really building a financial legacy. Now, I want you to imagine, right? Imagine all of that. Imagine doing all of that without having to borrow money from the bank, without having to start with a bunch of money, without hiring a real estate agent, without dedicating a bunch of boring hours, reading information, or even needing a real estate license. Most importantly, Denise, imagine if you could do all of that right after this class, because that is my ultimate goal, to show you how this can get done without needing a lot of money, without having a real estate agent, without getting a real estate license, without starting and having to borrow money from the bank. Now, is it all right if I'm upfront and honest? Comment honest in the chat if I can be honest about how this session is about to go, because I want to make sure you know what I get out of doing all of this, what this class is about. And so I'll comment the word honest if it's all right, if I can be honest with you guys. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about a topic called REITs, R-E-I-T, Real Estate Investment Trusts. It's a topic that a lot of people, they don't even know it exists. But my job is to show you how you can get started. I'm going to introduce you to students that I've taught to give you an outlook from someone other than myself. I'm also going to break down who I am and my credentials because I think that's important, especially when it comes to your money. By the end of this class, as long as you stay to the end of the class, comment I'm staying if you plan to stay to the end of this class. You are going to learn what a REIT is. You're going to learn how you can make passive income. You're going to learn how you can start with less than 200. And I want you to hold me to it. Ashley, I saw a lot of first timers in this class. Hold me to it and make sure I deliver on exactly what I promised you. Now, I run an entire company called Amplify. I got a bunch of programs. We have events coming up. We have a lot of stuff that can help you build wealth. So I'll tell you about all the things my company offers, but my first priority is to talk about REITs and how you, Mark, how you, Geneva, how you, Carla, how you, Sharon, can actually implement everything we're going to talk about today. Are we clear? I want you to comment clear in the chat. Are we crystal clear how this class is about to go? Now, I want to take about 5 minutes to tell you a little bit about me and my credentials, because we are talking about your money here. We're talking about passive income here. Some of you are attending this class because you want to make some extra money so that you can retire. It is extremely important you know the person, the qualifications of who I am and what I do, and why I'm even here teaching you this class. Now, I'm the CEO and founder of a company called Empify, E-M-P-I-F-Y. We are a fintech startup that is revolutionizing how adults and children learn how to build wealth. Empify is the merging of the word empower and modify put together. We also have an app called the Wealth Builders Community app, which is like the Netflix of finance. So just imagine, Jimmy, you didn't learn about money in school, didn't learn about it in your household, but now there's an app that gives you access to financial tools and resources 24/7 in the palm of your hand. We have thousands of people in over 22 different countries learning how to invest, learning about topics like REITs, just like you guys are learning here during this session. And there's tons of people all over the world who have access to our financial education. The woman you're talking to today, I've created financial programs, guides, resources that have helped millions of people all over the world. I am a former Wall Street analyst, where my job was to work with rich people. So if you had at least $25 million or more, it was our job to help you grow your wealth, protect it, and preserve it. I've also been a financial advisor, and I was working with low to moderate income individuals, everyday individuals who are looking to get financially educated so they can make financially educated decisions. I've been in this industry for over 15 years. I have been in the homes of billionaires. I've been in the bank accounts of billionaires. I have gone on television teaching 10-year-olds how to invest. So I know if I can teach a 10-year-old on TV, I'm pretty sure I can show you guys how to do it. I'm also the recipient of generational wealth, and I am also the creator of generational wealth. There is no aspect of money that I have not seen, and I do not teach topics that I do not do myself. What we are talking about during this session are actual investments that I invest in, actual investments that my 7-year-old niece that I invest in for her. And so no matter where you live in this world, no matter what your age is, it is possible for you to be able to implement everything we are going to talk about during this session. I've also been named one of the top 500 female founders by Inc. magazine just this year, literally a couple of months ago. And so I want you to understand, all of that is great, right? Because I just told you all the great stuff about me. But let me tell you what people really, really don't know about me. I am an Alpha Kappa Alpha woman, ladies and gentlemen. I went to the best HBCU in the world, Howard University. And I only wanted to major in finance and make money. I did not know what entrepreneurship was back in 2006 when I started college. But I knew I wanted to work on Wall Street. I knew I wanted that life. And so at Howard, I had 4 internships, and 3 of them were at Wall Street banks. Graduated 2010, landed my dream job working for one of the biggest banks in the world in asset management. So it was our job, like I said, to keep rich people rich. So every day I was in their bank accounts. I saw where they shopped, where they lived, where they traveled. I saw everything. But when I would go home to Philly, people thought I had a lot of money. And so by this time I'm in my 20s, I'm making 6 figures, but I'm like, you think I have money? We have no true perception of what wealth is like because we weren't around what I saw every day on Wall Street. And so I realized though, that for something we use every single day of our life, why is it not taught in our school system? You should not have to major in finance or work on Wall Street to get exposed to the information that I got exposed to. So I ended up leaving my Wall Street job. I left Wall Street with the intent to financially empower the people Wall Street often overlook. Now, I did not know how, I did not know why, but I knew that Ashley Fox was going to be the woman to be able to get that done. Now, here's what I realized though. When you start a business, ladies and gentlemen, you don't make money every 2 weeks. So literally within a matter of months, I got evicted from my Harlem apartment. This is a picture of me right outside of my parents' house. So my 2008 Hyundai Elantra, sitting outside my parents' house because I had to sleep on their couch for 2 years building Empify. And what most people do not know, the reason I'm in front of you today is because of my investments. I had to sell all my investments. I had $30,000 when I left Wall Street and I lost everything. Evicted from my apartment, maxed out my credit cards, and I had to sleep on my parents' couch. And I want you to understand that as we go through this session, I want you to know that you're not in this class to get rich quick. I'm not about to tell you how to take your money, put it all in REITs, and you're about to become a millionaire, because it's probably not going to happen. But I can promise you that I can ensure that you're getting passive income consistently for the rest of your life. And that is my ultimate goal. So I tell you all this to tell you that investments can help you start your journey to financial freedom, right? I also realize we all deserve to be that wealthy client. Wealth doesn't have a color, therefore it looks like Sonia, it looks like Caitlin, it looks like Colleen, it looks like Dominique. And I also realize that spending money and looking good had nothing to do with me having passive income, because I was making 6 figures at my job. I had a great job, but no passive income, which is why when I left my job, I had ran out of money. Some of you right now have great jobs. You have great jobs, but you are not in a position where if you left your job, you can survive for the rest of your life. You are not in a position where you're setting money aside and it's working for you. We all have job descriptions, but does your money have a job description? And so fast forward to 2025, I left my Wall Street job, moved out my parents' house, got my life together. These are pictures of me traveling to Peru, Paris, Australia. I'm a former writer for Forbes and Black Enterprise and Essence Magazine. I'm an international speaker, so I literally get paid to talk about topics like this, or to talk about my entrepreneurship journey as I've been building Empify. My company Empify literally a few months ago was named one of the fastest growing companies by Inc. magazine. We're in the top 15% of the fastest growing companies and number 49 in financial services. So throughout this session, what I want you guys to do is to fact check everything I'm talking about. Please go look up Empify in Inc. magazine. Go look up Ashley M. Fox, because what I want you to understand that this isn't something that I just do. This is who I am. This is what I've been doing for literally all of my life. There is no plan B. My job is to be able to expose you to what Wall Street exposed me to, so that you can get access to the information and build the wealth that you aspire to have to create the life that you want. I also went on television not too long ago talking about this exact same topic. So this is me on Yahoo Finance in front of millions of people talking about another way to invest in real estate, breaking down the benefits of REITs. So definitely go check out that go check out that interview on Yahoo Finance, where I'm breaking down a lot of what we're going to talk about during this session. At Empify, we also create programs for children. We partner with a lot of companies, schools, municipalities, and organizations all across the country. And so the woman you're talking to today, I've made over $1 million running my dream company. But we're also one of the fastest growing companies in the nation. We've impacted the lives and taught over 2 million people with our financial education classes and our programs. Collectively, the people that we haven't help invest have come to classes like this. Collectively, our members have invested over $11 million. And these are people, everyday people, individuals, just like you, Juanita, just like you, Charlene, who might not have started with a lot of money, yet they aspire to have a lot of money. And so definitely look us up in Afrotech, Inc. magazine, ABC, Yahoo, Fox News. Please look us up, what we do, who we are, so that one, you are comfortable and confident with my ability and Empify's ability to be able to put you in a better financial position with the education that we give you. Now, one of the things I've learned over these years of me being in this business is, one, you can't work your way to financial freedom. I don't care how many jobs you have, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot work your way to financial freedom. You also, Carlos, cannot save your way to wealth. How many of you have good jobs? You might save some money. You probably might own a home, but you're not wealthy. And so I'm not telling you that saving money, making money, buying a home is a bad thing. It just can't be the only thing you do. And realizing that spending money without growing it will guarantee you're going to decrease your net worth. Your money has to be able to have a job description in order for you to be financially independent. Now, when it comes to me and my dividend story, right? I started investing in buying stocks and buying REITs because I was working with rich people. right? So I didn't come from a family who invested. Now all my family invests now because I opened their accounts. But I was in the bank accounts of these billionaires, and most importantly, their children, right? So I'm in their bank accounts and I'm seeing them like they're making this passive income, but their portfolio is not really moving. So I'm like, how are these trust fund babies getting passive income, yet they're not putting more money in? They're not like, their portfolio isn't dropping. And that's when I learned what a dividend was. That's when I learned that you can get a portion of a company's profit paid out to you every 90 days for the rest of your life. Now, when it comes to real estate, right? So at this point in my life, I got about $80,000 in debt. No, actually probably 100. I was $80,000 in student loan debt. Probably had about $20,000 in credit card debt. And I knew I wanted to get into real estate, right? But I was not about to go borrow money to go buy a house in Manhattan because I lived in Harlem. I didn't even know if I wanted to stay in New York, right? But I knew I didn't want to borrow any money. How many of you want to get into real estate, but you just don't want to borrow money to do it? I already owed the bank money. I didn't want to owe more money. And so that's when I learned what a REIT was. That's when I learned that I could invest in a company that could pay me every month or every quarter, but I never had to touch the property. I never had to manage a tenant. Now, my goal, ladies and gentlemen, I just want $10,000 a month, right? I make money a bunch of ways, but I want my REITs to pay me $10,000 a month, all my dividend paying investments. And I'm on track to hit that. I'm almost there. But I want you to know this does not have to be your only stream of income. It can be one, right? And so getting you in the position to understand it is possible for you to do the things you have not been taught to help get you to get the life that you know that you want. Now, how many of you are a parent? Comment parent in the chat if you are a parent. Or if you are an aunt, an uncle, like I'm an auntie, this is my niece. She's 7 years old. By the time she's 18, she's going to have $1 million portfolio. $1 million portfolio. But I'm going to get her to $3,000 a month by the time she's 16. How many of you right now, an extra $3,000 a month could make a difference in your life? That's what I'm going to do for this 7-year-old girl. Because I took out student loans to go to Howard. I built Amplify on an American Express credit card. She's not getting kicked out of places because she wants to start her business. She's not borrowing money from the bank if she decides to go to college. So I want you to understand everything we're going through during this session. Yes, you can implement it for the children in your life. This topic alone, we've had over 5,000 people learn about this topic literally in less than 2 years. So I want you to understand, I need everybody in this class. It goes for Lisa, Catherine, Tia, Garen. Who else we got in here? Tequila, Geneva, Bailey, Beatrice. I need your face on this screen. I need to know that after this class, we're able to implement everything we're talking about. Now let's talk some money though. How many of you ever heard of these companies on this screen? Comment me in the chat. How many of you have ever heard of Target, shopped at Target? Heard of Amazon, shopped at Amazon? Heard of Six Flags, spent money at Six Flags, spent money at Dollar General? Comment me in the chat. Here's what I want you to know about these companies. I want you to start focusing on the real estate connected to the company, right? Did you ever wonder, Dollar General, who do they pay rent to? Target, who do they pay rent to? Six Flags, they don't just build roller coasters on land. They have to rent that. Amazon, when they ship all your stuff, where does your product sit, right? I want you to know that all these companies on this screen make millions and millions and billions of dollars, and they all pay rent to a REIT. Meaning, the REITs that they pay rent to, you can make money off of them and collect passive income. Every building you walk in or you consume is owned by a person, a company, or a REIT. So I want you to start thinking about how you can be Amazon's landlord and get paid when Amazon pays rent. The way you can do that is by a REIT. That's what this class is about. How many of you ever been to a Simon Mall? How many of you, I lived in Philadelphia, King of Prussia Mall. I live in Atlanta now, Lenox and Phipps Mall here in Atlanta, the Galleria in Houston. How many of you, if you live in a major city, I guarantee you, there is a mall in your neighborhood, in your city, and chances are it's owned by the largest mall operator in America. Do you know that there's a company called Simon Property Group that owns practically all the malls in America? Do you know that right now it costs less than $200 to own a piece of that mall and they get paid every 90 days? Do you know that in 2020, at the height of the pandemic, Simon dropped to $50? Why? Because we were going to be stuck in a house. So Simon's price dropped. If you would have bought Simon 2020, 5 years ago, you would have made over 150% gain by buying a REIT. Now, let me give you this disclaimer. That's not normal. REITs don't grow that fast. And I'm going to explain why. But I want you to understand, you can own a piece of a mall for $157 right now and get paid every 90 days. So you don't have to build the mall. You don't even have to go to the mall, but you can get paid because the mall by law has to pay you. Okay? Now, for those of you, I know we had some new people that just tuned in. Get your notebooks and pens out because now we're about to go through how we can get this done. We're going to talk about REITs during this session. I want to make sure everyone that just tuned in, we're crystal clear on what's about to go down. We're going to talk about real estate investment trust, where the everyday person can start to build some passive income by utilizing real estate. You should already know who Ashley Marie Fox is, my company, Amplify. If not, please Google us. Look us up. By the end of this class, I promise you, hold me to it though. You are going to learn how to buy a REIT. You're going to learn how you can make passive income, and you're going to learn how you can start with less than $200. Now, I run a company, Amplify. Yes, I got a bunch of programs, guides, classes, all type of stuff. We got our REIT Accelerator happening right now. I'll tell you about all of that after we walk through and make sure you fully understand how REITs work and how you can invest and make passive income. Are we ready? Are we ready? I need to know, is everybody ready? Let's go. Here's what I need you guys to do right now. Share this class with 3 people and comment the word share when you do it. If you are watching this on social media, share this on social media. Forward the text that we sent you. Forward the email that we sent. Comment the word share. Share this class right now. Share the link right now so people can tune in live during this session. If you're on YouTube, Insta, I don't care where you are. Share this class with 3 people you know who want to build passive income. 3 people you know who want to get into real estate but aren't quite sure how to do it. 3 people you know that need to be your accountability partner, your colleagues, your family, your children. All right. Now, number 1. First thing you need to do to buy a REIT, ladies and gentlemen, you do not go to the bank. You go get a brokerage account. A brokerage account is kind of like the agent. It's the middleman that connects the buyer of the REIT to the seller of a REIT. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. Takes less than 10 minutes to open a brokerage account. You don't need a credit score. You don't need any money to open it. Less than 10 minutes to open a brokerage account. Less than 10 minutes. Where do you go to open a brokerage account? You go online. Now, take a picture of this slide right here. E-Trade, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Vanguard. Those are my top accounts. I'm sticking to it. These are the accounts. These are the companies that everyone who has taken our exclusive premier REIT Accelerator, these are the companies they use. So what you would do, you want to go to their website. You want to open an individual brokerage account. Individual. We don't buy REITs inside your retirement account at your job. The reason I said brokerage account, why? Because the moment you buy a REIT, ladies and gentlemen, you can sell it and get your money back if you want to. You don't have to wait for a buyer. You don't have to wait for a seller. It takes me 5 seconds to buy my REITs. And just in case I need the cash, let's say 3 months from now, I can sell the REITs and get the cash, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Individual brokerage account. That's what you want to open. This is the account you use to buy a REIT. This is the easiest way where you don't have any fees. You don't have anybody holding your money. You don't have to wait till a certain age. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, how wise you feel. Opening a brokerage account is the easiest way to be able to buy a REIT. Okay? Go to the company's websites. Now, if you are not from America, yes, you can buy REITs. Why? Because REITs are real estate. It's everywhere all over the world, ladies and gentlemen. So Interactive Brokers, a lot of the people in our app that have graduated our REIT Accelerator specifically from Australia to the UK to the Caribbean, they're using Interactive Brokers. Second one I'd recommend is DeGiro. So if you are not from America, take a picture of this slide. Yes, you can buy a REIT. Yes, you can build passive income, but you got to open these accounts. All right. Number two, the best way to invest in real estate is to have a trusted partner. Let me ask all of you a question. So this goes for Patience, Sabrina. Who else we got? Darwin, Nikki, Sean. If you all knew of someone who was in real estate, right? They had a phenomenal track record. They pay their investors on time. They manage all the properties. They handle all the tenants, all the legal. They handle everything. And they've been doing this for years. Great reputation. Would you invest in that trusted partner? Comment in the chat, yes or no, but then also tell me why. Someone in real estate, trusted partner, great track record, manages all the properties for you. They've been doing this for years. Great reputation. And if you're saying yes in the chat, tell me why. Tell me why you said yes. Give me some reason. I'm gonna take a sip of my protein shake. And tell me, so I know you trust them, Gretchen, but tell me why. Okay, so Tamara says because, wait, I just lost what Tamara. Tamara said because they know what they're doing, right? Because of the reputation, because of their track record, right? Ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what a REIT is. That's exactly what a REIT is. Now, a REIT, write this down, REIT, stands for Real Estate Investment Trust. This is where you, Lisa, you own stock in a real estate company that owns, operates, and manages commercial real estate. Now, when the REIT pays you, because remember, you're in this for the income. When the REIT pays you, ladies and gentlemen, it's called a dividend. Everybody comment dividend in the chat. Dividend, because this is what we want. We want the dividends, ladies and gentlemen. A dividend is a payment made to investors from a company's profit that gets paid out over a specific period, right? With your REITs, you're going to get paid every month or every quarter. Every month or every quarter. Now, let me tell you this, because people always ask, well, when am I going to get my money? Well, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I don't pay you the money. Ashley Fox, her company, Amplify, we don't give you the money. The REIT sets the date that they pay you, and they set the amount that they pay you. You're either going to get paid every 90 days or every single month. It depends on the company they choose, okay? Their job is to be able to collect the money, and after they pay all their bills, the money left over gets paid out to Aretha, Keisha, Sonia, Paula in dividends. In dividends, okay? Now, REITs have been around since the 1960s. The reason you never heard of them is because they don't teach this in schools. The reason you've never heard of them is because typically the everyday person, they're not investing in REITs, right? Most institutions buy REITs. Companies like Amplify and our REIT Accelerator program, we are the reason thousands of people as of today have been buying REITs because people just don't know. Our community just doesn't know. Now, REITs came about in the 1960s. The government created a REIT, not me. I don't make the REIT. I invest in them. 1961, they created shopping center REITs, retail REITs. Then in the 70s, they came up with industrial REITs, apartment REITs. Then they had data centers. And then in 2017, there was a president who was in real estate who made some tax cuts for REIT investors. We all know who was the president in 2017. And then we had the pandemic. And because REITs are tied to real estate took a hit. Real estate is still down right now. That's exactly why I'm teaching this class, because real estate is still down, which means REIT prices are still low. The only difference is you don't have to borrow money from the bank to buy a REIT, ladies and gentlemen. You don't. 2021, REITs bounced back from the pandemic, but interest rates were so high. Inflation was high. REITs still didn't fully bounce back. And here we are, 2025. We have a president. We don't know who's going to go left or right, ladies and gentlemen. Fed is not sure what they're going to do with interest rates. But let me tell you this. The real estate industry goes up and it goes down. But the one thing I'm going to tell you about REITs, the dividends keep coming. But the reason I'm having this class, and we have not literally focused on this topic in months. But now, ladies and gentlemen, once the Fed starts talking more about lowering interest rates, your savings accounts are going to drop and REITs are going to go up. At some point, the economy is going to bounce back. But what I see is an opportunity to buy low and collect income. So much as the years progress, the prices of REITs increase. So it's like you buying a property right now for less than $200 at a discount with a tenant that's still going to pay you consistent income. Now, pay attention to this slide and actually take a picture of it, because this breaks it all down so that you understand. So you, Tanya, you are going to get your brokerage account. In your brokerage account, that's where you're going to buy the REIT, right? The REIT, though, they're going to find the property. They're going to find the property. They're going to fix up the property. They're going to do all the heavy lifting. Once that property is all ready, they go out and find the tenants. Now, remember this. REITs are commercial real estate. So I'm going to give you this disclaimer. You aren't getting rich quick. No one buys commercial real estate to flip it. They buy it to hold it, collect income, and repeat. So that's how REITs work. You buy them, you hold them, you collect income, repeat. That's it. You can buy a share of a REIT right now and get paid for the rest of your life and never buy another share again. Now, the REIT is going to collect the rental income from all their tenants. After that, they pay all their bills. Once they pay all their bills, 90%, everybody comment 90% in the chat. This is the one fact. If you don't remember anything from this class, that's the one thing you must remember. 90% of that REIT's profit after they pay their bills must get paid out to Kayla, to Layla, to Nadine, to Lisa, to Bridget, to Mark Willis, 90%. So now, ladies and gentlemen, imagine your trusted partner. There's a law that said they have to pay you. There is a law that says REITs have to pay out 90% of their profit to you. What happens is the REIT has all that profit left and they say, all right, let me look at all the people that own shares of our REIT. They're each going to get this amount per share. The more shares you own of the REIT, the more income the REIT's going to pay you. That income is called a dividend. That dividend gets deposited in your brokerage account. You don't ever have to talk to the REIT. You don't ever have to go to the building. You don't ever have to shop there. As long as you own a piece of that REIT, you are entitled to that passive income. Okay? Now, 1 out of every 3 properties is owned by a REIT. A real estate can only be owned by a person, a company, or a REIT. That's it. 170 million people own REITs, and they don't even, some of you might even own REITs and you don't even know it. A lot of your retirement plans, pensions, all of that, you're invested in REITs. REITs own $2.5 trillion in assets. I guarantee you. You look up in your city skyline, places you travel, I guarantee you see REITs, but you just don't know they're owned by REITs. I live in Atlanta. That skyline in Atlanta, Midtown, there's a lot of REITs that are those tall buildings. Okay? Number 3, let me take a step back. Comment following in the chat. Are you following me right now? I want to make sure I'm not going too fast. I want to break this down because as we progress by towards the end, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to map out how you make this cash flow and how much money you're going to make. But I want to make sure I lay down the groundwork so that you're clear. All right, Maria says she's following. Tanya says she's following. Okay, I want to make sure. Number 3. With a REIT, you want to understand which REITs are best positioned to pay you forever. Comment forever money in the chat. How many of you want forever money? How many of you right now want forever money? Now, you want the REITs that are in the best position to pay you forever. Take a picture of this slide right here. These are the different types of REITs that exist, right? So you can own office building REITs. You can own industrial REITs. Write this down: STAG, STAG, and Prologis. Those are industrial REITs. Prologis is actually the largest industrial REIT in the world. These REITs are Amazon's landlord. For some reason, I don't know why people think everybody has to own the property. Amazon does not own all their warehouses. The supermarkets you go to, they don't own all their warehouses. All their stores. A lot of people pay rent, which is not a bad thing. So Amazon pays rent to industrial REITs. They're not in the business of real estate, ladies and gentlemen. They're in the business of getting you your goods fast. But in order to do that, they pay rent to REITs. STAG and Prologis. STAG also pays every month. Then you have retail REITs. Those are shopping centers, shopping malls. You ever go to a grocery store and look at who owns the shopping center? If you look up and if you Google that name of the shopping center, if it says real estate investment trust in the title, when you look up the description, that means you can own a piece of it. That means you're entitled to passive income. Do you know that hotels are REITs? A lot of hotels don't own their properties. A lot of the hotels don't own their properties. So for example, Four Seasons, Marriott, Hilton, they don't own all their hotels. They're in the business of hospitality. Then you have residential REITs, apartment buildings, healthcare REITs, hospitals, senior homes, self-storage. How many of you ever heard of Extra Space? CubeSmart. Comment me in the chat if you've ever heard of CubeSmart. Or just think about all the storage units, places that you see when you ride by. Extra Space. CubeSmart. People who rent out storage units pay rent to the storage facility. If the storage facility is a REIT, that means, and you own a piece of that REIT, that means you're getting paid from all the people that are paying their rent for their storage space. You have data centers, you have billboards, you have amusement parks, you have casinos, you have schools. If it's a commercial property, ladies and gentlemen, it's possible it is owned by a REIT. So start paying attention to who owns the buildings that you consume. Now, let me give you some examples. How many of you have ever been to Las Vegas? If you've been to Las Vegas, comment the hotels that you stayed at in Vegas. I want you right now, comment the hotels that you've been to in Vegas. I was just in Vegas not too long ago, and I was speaking at the Bellagio. Comment the hotels you stayed at in Vegas. That goes for Rashetta, Sonia. All right, so Marisol says the Venetian. Okay, the Mirage, Aria. Okay. MGM. I'm not sure who Business Essentials is, but you've been to Vegas a lot. The Wynn, Caesar's Palace, MGM, Bellagio. Now, let me tell you this. Do you know that the Bellagio is owned by a REIT? The Venetian is owned by a REIT. The Luxor that Ryan just said is owned by a REIT. A lot of these hotels are owned by a REIT called Vici. You know, if you invest in Vici right now, it's $31. $31. Now, how many of you want to build a casino and own a casino? I know I don't. But you can own a piece of a casino for less than $50 and get paid every 90 days. Vici owns a lot of hotels on the Strip. How many of you ever been to Topgolf? Comment Topgolf in the chat if you've been to Topgolf. How many of you have ever been to Topgolf? Do you know that Topgolf pays rent to a REIT called EPR? EPR pays dividends every month. EPR is $52 a share. So every time someone goes to Topgolf and they pay to play at Topgolf, Topgolf collects all the money and pays rent to EPR. EPR collects all the money from all the Topgolfs that are their tenants, and then they pay their bills and then they pay you. Topgolf. Prologis, Amazon's landlord. That's the largest industrial REIT that exists. Prologis is $105 a share. Pays out every 90 days. And then there's Realty Income. They call themselves the monthly dividend company. They title themselves the monthly dividend company because they like to brag that they pay you every single month. How many have ever been to a Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Walgreens, 7-Eleven? Realty Income owns 15,000 properties. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not owning 15,000 properties. It's not that serious. But I gladly will invest in a company that does. A company that's been paying out dividends for 25 years and never missed a payment. And every year they gave extra money. Look this up, Realty Income. Imagine Joy investing in a company. Actually, that should say $52, not $5. Realty Income is $52. $52. Imagine getting paid every month because you invested in something one time. One time. Look at this article. I saw this article not too long ago. Realty Income invested almost $1 billion in the Bellagio. So guess who owns the Bellagio? Realty Income, a REIT. Think about it. You go to Las Vegas. I just spoke at the Bellagio at the Black Enterprise Summit. I paid to stay at the Bellagio. I rented a hotel room at the Bellagio. The Bellagio collects all the money, which is owned by Realty Income. So now Realty Income collects all that money. They collect all the money from the restaurants inside the Bellagio, all the stores inside of the Bellagio. They collect all that rental income, all that money. They pay all their bills. And then they pay me and my niece every single month. I don't live in the Bellagio. I just stayed there to go speak at an event. I don't go to Vegas every single day, but a lot of people travel there. And remember, I told you they own 15,000 properties. The Bellagio was just one of them. So imagine you owning Vegas hotels, getting paid every single month because you decided to buy a REIT that was less than $100. Now, I promise you I'm not making this up. NAREIT is a National Association for REITs. National Association for REITs. Go to REIT.com. You can see all the REITs that exist. I promise you I'm not making it up. There's a national headquarters in DC. I met a lot of people that work there, and we partner. We're literally taking graduates in our REIT Accelerator and members who are in our REIT Accelerator right now. We got free tickets to go to the REIT conference in New York City with them. So all these REITs that we're talking about today, I'm about to go listen to them talk about how they're going to keep paying me money. So go to REIT.com because you can see all the REITs that exist, all of them, I promise you. We also partnered with them where we were focusing together on honoring NAREIT for educating unrepresented communities when it comes to REITs. You see, you don't always have to have millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars or a good credit score to be able to build passive income. And so we at our conference we had last year, our annual conference at Amplify, we partnered with NAREIT. We're about to partner with NAREIT again to teach this exact same topic in HBCUs. So I want you to go look up NAREIT. I promise you, I'm not making this up. These are real organizations, and this is where all the REITs are connected. Now, when you pick your REITs, though, because all REITs are not treated equal, you want to make sure you look at the company's financials, right? The same way they do a credit check, they check your credit history, Andrea, Ronnie. You got to look at their dividend history. How many of you want to get paid consistently? Comment consistent in the chat if you want to get paid consistently. Comment consistently in the chat if you want to get paid consistently. You need to make sure your dividends are coming in consistently. And write this down. The good REITs, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to pay you more money per share every year. Every year. The good REITs can pay and can give you a raise without having to work at the company. So you want to look at their financials. There's something called a 10K and a 10Q. You can see how much money all the REITs make. You can see how much debt they have. You can see everything. You also want to go to their website. You know, we talked about Realty Income. Go look at Realty Income's website. They'll tell you how many dividend payments they've made to investors. You will see all the tenants that they have. You will see the dividends that they're paying. You will see how they plan to maneuver with this president in office. You also want to know who the tenants are. Everybody comment tenants in the chat. You got to start thinking like owners here. The tenant of the REIT matters because the tenants pay the REIT. The REIT pays you. So you want to make sure your REIT has some solid tenants. You want to know why Realty Income can pay out dividends and never miss a payment and always grow their dividends every year? Because Realty Income is known for having recession-proof tenants, like a 7-Eleven, like a Dollar Tree, like a Walgreens. 15,000 properties. So the tenants of the REIT matters. Think about if we go into a recession. Everybody take a second. If we go into a recession, right? Where are people still going? Where are you still going if there's a recession? Where are people still spending money? What real estate is still consumed if we go into a recession? These are the things you want to think about. The other thing you want to look at is how many properties the REIT owns. REITs don't just own 2 properties, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about a REIT that owns 15,000. 15,000. So you want to make sure you look up how many properties the REITs you're investing in, how many properties do they actually own? Does that make sense? Comment in the chat. I want to comment. Are we learning something? Comment. I'm learning in the chat. Comment. I'm learning in the chat if we're learning. So I'm going to make sure. You also want to know who's running these companies. You want to look at the properties because there are a lot of REITs that exist, but you don't need a football team to build a passive income, ladies and gentlemen. I need everybody to understand you deserve to make $10,000 a month, but it doesn't mean you always have to work for it. You got to put in the work, but you got to be strategic. You got to be smart. I still run my business. I work 90, 100 hours every single week. I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. So as I make money, guess what I'm doing? I'm investing it, and that money's giving me a return, and I'm getting dividends. My niece is getting dividends. Now, these are some women who won. You see the woman in the middle added more REITs to my kids' account. The woman at the top opened her brokerage account, bought her first REIT, more to come. The woman at the bottom purchased her first REIT. People are getting excited about buying their first REIT. Why? Because they know when you buy that REIT, somebody's paying you within 90 days. You know that the more shares you buy, the more cash flow you're getting, the more money you can use for travel, the more money you can use to replace your job's income, the more money you can use to become debt free. These are the things you want to think about. All right. Number 4. You want to invest in REITs that can consistently pay you high dividends. High dividends. Okay? Now let me explain this. Write this down. 4 to 17%. That is what you are going to make between 4 to 17% every year just in cash flow. 4 to 17%. Now, the way you find a REIT, I like to use REIT.com, but the easiest way is you just look up the company name. Soon as you look up the company name, look at the description of the company. It'll say a real estate investment trust. That's how you know it's a REIT. Now, when you pull up the chart, If there's a percent at the bottom of the chart, that means that company pays a dividend. So if you look at that screen right there, that means the company pays a 7.7% dividend. That means for every share you own, you are going to make 7.7% that year. Okay? That's called a dividend yield. So look at dividend yield is equivalent to your interest like a savings account. The difference is a good REIT increases your cash flow. An inconsistent REIT fluctuates the cash flow. But a good REIT, a reliable REIT, you're going to get paid all the time. They're not going to miss payments, and the dividends are going to increase as the years progress. Now, let me ask you all a question. How much do you need to buy a property? Right now, today, give me a number. If you were to say, I'm talking to Tanya, Julia, Patience, right now, if you said, Ashley, I'm about to go buy a house. I'm about to go buy a property. I'm going to collect some income. How much do you need from the moment you get that property, close on that property, and get your furniture in there, all ready for that tenant to pay rent? How much money do you believe you need? Give me a number. I'm seeing 225. I'm seeing $500,000, 10,000, 400. Now, I want everybody to take a second and look at the chat. This is what you guys are saying. How many of you just have that much money just lying around in your account? How many of you have $30,000, $75,000? Andrea says $100,000. Juanita says 380. How many of you just have that type of money sitting in your bank account? How many of you have friends, relatives that have that much money sitting in their bank account? Now, the typical route that people go to get that money, they go borrow money from the bank, right? Now, let me tell you something about this. I don't care if you own a property or not. The moment you choose to borrow money from the bank to buy a house, you don't own that house. You don't own that house because the moment you don't pay that bank back, they are going to take that house from you. If I buy a REIT today and never buy another share again for the rest of my life, I own that REIT forever. And I'm going to get paid forever. So you don't have to borrow money to buy a REIT. Why? Because most REITs cost less than $200. You also don't need to manage a property. You don't have to find a tenant. That is what the REIT does. REITs were created so that the everyday person can invest in income producing real estate. Now, I'm not telling you that buying a direct property is bad. I'm not telling you that. I know tons of people who own properties. I also know a ton of people who own properties that are in a ton of debt. Not that it's bad, but not everybody has the credit score, the time, or the resources to get a loan, make a down payment, cover closing costs, fix things if things break in the house. Not everybody has that time or that opportunity. But I'm about to show you a REIT that's less than $10. I'm pretty sure everybody in this class has at least $10 where they can start to build an income over time. So now I want everybody to write in the chat, what is your passive income goal? What do you want to make bare minimum every single month? What do you want to make in passive income? Everybody write it in chat. My number is $10,000 a month, so you better not come less than 10,000. We have to start to train our mind to think these numbers are small. Michael says 15,000. Nadine says 10,000. Gretchen, get that number higher. Nikki says 20,000. Keisha says 15,000. I like it. I like it. What if you started to build to get to that point? Now, you're not going to get rich quick. But what if it took you time, but you can make sure you had that in the next 5, 10, I don't know how many years. And then something ever happens to you, you pass that down to your children. Now here's EPR, right? Look at the bottom of that chart. EPR is around 50 or so dollars per share. That's Top Golf's landlord. EPR right now is paying out 7.22% every year in dividends, which means for every $50 you buy of EPR, you're going to get 7.22% in income every year. Now, let me ask you a question. How many of you are getting 7.22% in your savings account? How many of you are getting a 7% raise every year? But even if you're getting a raise, you still have to work to get that money. EPR is going to give you that the moment you go in that brokerage account and you buy a share EPR, you're actually going to get paid within 30 days, and then 30 days after that, and then 30 days after that. Now, let's look at numbers. Let's say you buy 100 shares of EPR, Sean, Tanya. You're going to get that 7.22%. You're going to get an annual dividend of $352. Now, let me take a step back. You buy 100 shares of EPR, right? You don't have to buy 100 shares. You could buy one for that $49. But if you buy 100, that you're making an investment of $4,900, right? Every year, that 7.22% is $352. Right now, if you knew you could get $352 every year for the rest of your life, are you guys taking it? That's about $30 a month. Every single month, like clockwork, getting deposited in your brokerage account. How many of you are taking that $352? How many of you are taking the $352? I'm seeing some yeses, some yeses, some yeses. Okay. Now, let's take it a step further. Pay attention to this slide because I'm pay attention. Let's say it took you, Teresa, Arlene, Keith, Lisa, Angie. It took you 15 years, 15, to own 10,000 shares of EPR. 10,000 shares. That means you invested $490,000 because 10,000 shares times that 49 is $490,000. Let's say it took you 15 years, but you're still getting that 7.22%. But now you're getting $35,000 a year. How many of you could use an extra $35,000 a year? Comment me in the chat if you could use an extra $35,000. Let's say it took you 15 years of building where you can get $35,000 every year for the rest of your life. And you don't ever have to buy any more shares after that. How many of you are willing to wait 15 years to do that? But let me ask you a better question. How many of you have been working for over 15 years, but you don't have $35,000 coming in every year passively? What if it took you 15 years, every week, every month, every quarter, you're building, you're buying more shares, because with a REIT, ladies and gentlemen, you can buy one share and get $3.52. You can buy 10,000 shares and get $35,000. What stops you is the number of shares you buy. Look at it like this. If you bought a property for $100,000 and you got $500 a month in rent, if you wanted to get $10,000 a month in rent, you have to buy more properties. The only difference is you don't have to keep finding another $100,000 to buy a house. REITs let you just buy shares for $50. It's the same exact thing, except one, you don't have to do any of the work and you can start on a smaller scale. You start on a smaller scale. So how many of you right now been working for more than 15 years of your life, but you don't have $35,000 passively coming in? Passively, right? Cassandra says, even if the market crashed. Great question. Cassandra, if you bought that house for $100,000 and there's a market crash, is the tenant not paying you rent? Now, here's the downside to REITs. The value of the REIT can drop, just like a property. You could buy a house for $100,000. Your property could drop to $50,000 if the market drops. But it doesn't mean the tenant stops paying you passive income. There are two ways you make money with the REIT. The first way is your number one priority with REITs is income. You do not buy a REIT to flip your money, because REITs don't move like that. They are boring. People buy them and they hold them and they collect the passive income. The moment you sell the REIT, you aren't entitled to passive income. The moment you sell the house, you aren't entitled to rental income. So even if the REIT drops in price, it could go back up just like your house. But the rental income for a house, you can still get paid passive income. And with the REIT, you're still going to get paid passive income because they pay out dividends regardless of their price. Zelford just said, can I sell a REIT? The same way you bought a REIT. You sell it, you buy a REIT in 5 seconds, you sell it in 5 seconds. You can buy it, you don't have, nobody holds the REIT for you. Nobody holds your money. You can sell it whenever you want to. Am I making sense? So that $35,000 is $3,000 a month. Could any of you use an extra $3,000 a month for the rest of your life? And God forbid something happens to you. You know that money gets given to your family, right? You know that money, that money you make in those dividends, you can reinvest those dividends back to buy you more shares, which means every month with EPR, you're going to be making more money. Am I making sense here? Now, let's do another REIT. Here's another REIT that is a smaller REIT. This REIT is about $8. I actually think it's about $7.50. I think the price went down a little bit. But let's just say this REIT is about $8, right? Look at the bottom of that chart right there. This REIT's paying out 9.5% in dividends, which means for every $8 you invest, you're going to get 9.52% in income every year. Now, you can buy one share of this REIT or 10,000 shares of this REIT. I don't care. The point I'm making is you don't have to wait till you have hundreds of thousands of dollars. You could just buy a REIT and get paid passive income. Now, this REIT is about $8. Let's do the same calculation here. This REIT is about $8. Let's say you bought 10,000 shares, Grace, of GNL. 10,000 times $7.98. You invested 79,000. You see the difference with EPR? EPR, you bought 10,000 shares. It was 490,000. GNL, you bought 10,000 shares. It was 79,000. Two different companies. One is not better than the other, right? Now, you're going to get about $7,600 every single year. Every single year. How many of you could use an extra $7,600 a year, which is about $2,000 every 90 days? How many of you could use literally could use an extra $7,600 by slowly buying a REIT that's going to pay you a dividend of 9.52 every year, but it costs $8? And again, I'm not saying that real estate is not an option. This is just another way to get into real estate. This is a way for you to get passive income because it is the law. Promise you, look up a REIT. By law, they have to pay out 90%, Grace, 90% of their profit. That is why on average, they're the highest paying dividend investment on the stock market. And here's the thing. You know how you have a home and you pass it down to your family, but sometimes your family can't keep up with the home. How many of you know people that have been given a property when their relative has passed away, but they couldn't keep up with the house? They couldn't pay the taxes on the house. They couldn't keep up with it. Do you know that God forbid something happens to your family, they don't have to keep up with a REIT. They don't keep up with it. They sit there and collect passive income because there's no property to manage because you chose to invest in the real estate partner who does all the heavy lifting. So when you build this passive income, this is what you pass down to your children. This is just a REIT that's $8. I got a REIT right now that I pay $10 for that's paying me 15% every single year. This is just an option. This REIT alone owns 1,300 properties. All of this information is public knowledge. This is how you put yourself in a position to retire. Comment, I'm retiring in the chat. This is how you put yourself in a position to pay down your debt. Now, you're not going to get rich quick. It may take you time to build, but I promise you, if you don't have $50 coming in every month passively, if you don't have $1,000 a month coming in passively, what are you doing with your money other than giving it to all the companies that pay rent to all the REITs that I own? This is a way for you to start with what you have and build over time. Because if it took you 15 years to get to $35,000, how many of you have been working for 20 years of your life, 30 years of your life? And I know you're saying, I wish I would have learned this a long time ago, but I wasn't here a long time ago. You weren't ready for this a long time ago. The question is, are you willing to start today? Are you willing to say, Ashley, I'm going to start small so I can ensure that I always have money coming in for the rest of my life? You can buy a REIT when you want. You can sell it when you want. You don't wait for the bank. You don't wait for the buyer. You don't wait for a tenant. You're naturally entitled to the passive income. This is how you put yourself through retirement. This is how you put your kids through school. This is how you supplement your income. This is an option. Now, here's an example. You could take $15,000 and put it in a savings account, right? You're going to get maybe 4%. It might be a little less because rates are dropping. You're getting about $600. You buy GNL, take the same $15,000 and buy GNL, you're getting $1,400. Same $15,000 invested, set aside, two different strategies. Most people tell you to save your money. That's not what wealthy people do. Wealthy people own the bank and the bank pays them dividends. Wealthy people put their money in investments that can pay them for the rest of their life. What good is it if you're only working, and if you stop working, the money stops coming? This is how you ensure you always get paid. Even if the market drops, my dividends are still paying me. This is a way you can start to think about building wealth. Because whether you like it or not, Crystal, Marie, Robin, they paid out $1.66 trillion in dividends last year. Somebody's getting this money. The question is, why aren't you? I think you deserve a piece of this. I think you deserve at least $100 a month. You're going to use the real estate anyway. You're going to go to these stores. You're going to shop at the grocery stores. You're going to walk into these office buildings. You're going to shop on Amazon, and they're always housing your stuff in a warehouse. You're going to go to these restaurants. You're going to go to these hotels. You're going to use this real estate whether you like it or not, because if you don't use the real estate, then the tenants have no reason to have a lease. So they need a lease so that customers can come in, so that their employees can come in, so that people can utilize the real estate. And that is how the REIT makes money. So remember, you don't need a lot of money to invest in real estate. You don't have to borrow money from the bank. You don't need a real estate license. You don't have to have a credit score. You don't have to have a tenant to make passive income. You don't have to do that. There are multiple ways to build wealth, but don't you sit here and tell me, Ashley, I've been trying to get into real estate. And I don't have the credit. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't have the experience. You don't need experience to buy a REIT. You don't need a bank to buy a REIT. You just need a brokerage account. And you sat in this class and you understood how simple this is. It gets no simpler than this, I promise you. I promise you. So check-in time. Type in yes in the chat. Was this helpful? Did I deliver on what I told you I was going to give you? I want to make sure, did we learn something? Is it not as hard as you thought it would be? Is it possible for you to really get passive income and start with $8? Is it possible for you to build over time so that more and more shares you buy, the more income you can create? So recap, open that brokerage account. Start considering that trusted partner who knows what you don't know, that does all the work. Understand where REITs are best positioned to pay you forever. Understand the REITs that can pay you consistent, high dividends. Consistent, high dividends. Don't overcomplicate it. Just because you didn't learn this language in school doesn't mean you don't deserve to become fluent. Because I learned this working with rich people. You don't need to be on Wall Street. That's why you have Amplify. That's why you have me. Now, I know there were a lot of questions and I want to be cognizant of everybody's time. Do you want me to walk you through how we build that roadmap and strategy? How we understand taxes, how we work with and build that passive income portfolio? Now, there's one catch to this. You've got 45 days to do this because you don't need a year to buy a REIT. But the way this economy is set up, the way they're talking about tariffs, you have to make sure you are playing offense, not defense when it comes to investing. You want to make sure while real estate is still down, you're able to get it at a cheaper price, so much that the REIT prices will rise over time. REITs have not bounced back from where they were pre-pandemic, which means there's still opportunity for you to build income. I want everybody to write in the chat 45 days. I got to set expectations here. 45 days. You don't need a year to buy a REIT. You don't. It is not that complicated. And I need to make sure the sooner you buy the REIT, the faster you start to get paid because they're entitled to give you that money. Now, our REIT accelerator opened up within the past 30 days, but it's about to shut down. Now, our REIT accelerator is our premier program that we have not opened in over a year, where thousands of people come in from start to finish, learn how to build a portfolio as a REIT investor. Now, I'm going to walk you through how the REIT works, how the REIT accelerator works, what you get, all those details, the cost, everything. But this is for the individual who wants to take advantage of this, but they want that customized game plan and get all those questions answered in that start to finish process to learn how to build their own portfolio before the economy starts to shift. I need you to play offense, not defense. Now, here's what we're going to do. First off, it is housed in our app. I am in that app every single day, giving you tips, giving you value, pushing you across the finish line. So you're going to get the in-depth research strategy that you need to buy a REIT from start to finish. From those of you who don't even have an account, all the way to you buy your first REIT. We're going to build that passive income strategy so that you know how to manage that passive income, how to reinvest that passive income. You're going to have access to the right resources that will help you build the strategy to hit your passive income goal. Now, the first thing you're going to get is the course. The moment you get inside the REIT accelerator, you can start immediately. Comment immediately in the chat. We have sessions that are pre-recorded and sessions that are live. So just in case you miss a live session, guess what? The class that you missed, the session, gets added to your account and you can watch the replay. Moment you're in, classes can start. You can move at your own pace or follow our 45-day timeline. Okay? Now, here's a breakdown of an entire process. It's in 5 steps. First, we're going to go back and go through the specifics around a REIT, how they work and how you make money with them, right? We're going to go through the process and breakdown of taxes, the strategies to reinvest, the strategies you need to pick the right REIT. How do I know if I buy GNL or Realty Income? How do I know if I want the REIT that pays me 4% or the REIT that's paying me 11%? How do I decide and understand how to read the dividend history? By the end of this REIT Accelerator, and you graduate, you will become a REIT investor. You will, by the time you graduate, have a passive income portfolio. You will get paid by some company with some dividend as long as you finish within 90 days. Now, those of you who are brand new, yes, we have resources and walkthroughs of the best accounts to use, a breakdown of how to determine how much you start with, a breakdown and an understanding of how you walk through Fidelity, how you walk through Charles Schwab, the top brokerage accounts for investors. So even if you're brand new, that's fine. We start from the beginning. If you have an account already, you might not need this part. You can go straight into the sessions. But if you're brand new, yes, that's okay. Now, how many of you right now just need a better environment? Comment. How many of you just have friends that you feel like are holding you back? People you need to let go in your life. You need a new circle. You need some accountability. You need a little bit more motivation. Literally, I want you to understand our oldest member inside of the REIT Accelerator is 80. The oldest person in our app is 80, making passive income. So if you feel like you are too old, you feel like you're behind, ladies and gentlemen, you are right where you need to be. I need everybody to assume they're going to live the next 20, 30, 40 years of their life. And you're learning how to start today so that next year you're bringing in 4 and 5 figures of passive income. So you are also about to be surrounded by people who are on that exact same journey. People who are pouring into your cup versus taking out. Because I know everybody in here is giving away everything to everybody and not showing up for you. This is the investment in you. The network of people who are building wealth. We had over 5,000 people take this program. My goal was to get us to invest $1 million together. I think we just crossed over 600,000-700,000. We're almost there. I can't wait to go to NAREIT to tell them, hey, every graduate in the REIT Accelerator that has taken this program, we've invested over $1 million together. Now, in addition to that, we have live sessions. We have Q&As. We have office hours. We have research trainings so that you have that constant support just in case you have questions with the pre-recorded sessions, just in case you want to connect with more people, just in case you want to come to the office hours and listen to the questions everybody else asks. There's always live sessions happening to support you throughout the REIT Accelerator. Now, once you're finished, we celebrate you. You get a gift. We have a REIT shopping spree where we all go shopping and buy REITs. We have our graduation that we have. We're literally about to have a graduation coming up. So as you guys get in, you are going to be in our summer, our fall group, whatever group. I need you guys to finish. So when you get in, I want everybody to comment, I'm graduating. Comment, I'm graduating. Because I need to know you're going to come to graduation. We're going to send you your gift and you're going to walk out as a REIT investor because you finished, right? Now, who is this for? I'm going to let you know. One, it's for the individual who's currently employed but doesn't want to work for the rest of their life. It's for the person who's ready to quit, but they don't know what to do. They want to get their money in order. This is for the person who's looking to see how real estate can help them make extra income. It's the parent who wants to build wealth for their child. It's for the person who's over 50 who may feel like they're behind, don't know what to do, but they know they need to be doing something to build a portfolio so they don't have to work for the rest of their life. Now, I want to show you guys Jacinda. So Jacinda took the REIT Accelerator, invested in Realty Income and GNL, and is making $900 in passive income so far. But the biggest win she had was developing a plan to continue investing more in REITs this year and forever. She's already making $900, but she's excited for more because she knows that every share she buys, she's making more than $900. She's reinvesting those dividends, using that drip feature we talk about to compound her income faster. So listen, if you're here, it's not an accident. Florence, you are here. You are determined. Grace, you are determined to build wealth, and you know you deserve more. But now you know that this is the time to utilize real estate. Real estate is still down to make extra cash flow. But now you have somebody. This is who I am. This is how I teach in the app. This is how I'm coming every day. The energy I'm giving you, this is my life, ladies and gentlemen. I've been doing this forever and I'm not stopping. We feel like we're just getting started. But now you have someone, now you have a company that will hold your hand and walk you through it step by step. Now, these are some of the people that have already graduated the REIT Accelerator this year. I need to see Paula Watson. I need to see Ronald Snyder. I need to see Maria Alina. I need to see Dawnette up here. I need to see Zelford, Geraldine. I need your names up here. The next time I teach this class, I want to put your names up here of the people who graduated, the people building wealth with REITs and creating passive income. So here's what you get. You got the REIT Accelerator program. You also need about 3 hours a week to finish this program and to complete within the 45 days. 3 hours a week. That's it. Now you can do more because you can move faster. You can move fast. We got somebody that finishes REIT Accelerator in 4 days. I don't know how she did it, but she did it. You have access to the REIT network. You have access to the coaching and the research training. Now, let me tell you this. We partner with some big organizations that are paying us about $15,000, $16,000 for this program. To book me as a speaker, ladies and gentlemen, I charge the minimum of $10,000. I don't leave my house if I'm not getting paid that much. I am in that app every single day. So what people pay me $10,000 to talk about for an hour, I'm with you every day. I'm teaching sessions with you all the time. You have our lead financial educator, Robert Boyd, who used to work for the Federal Reserve. He was a consultant, best REIT educator out there. We are in that app with you every day. We are giving you the resources you need every day. We are your connection to NAREIT all the time. And so when it comes to this program and what we are creating, what we have done, because this program has been around for 5 years, by the way. This isn't a brand new program. This program literally is only $9.99 for you guys. Only $9.99. So here's what you need to do if you're going to get in this program before we close the door. 3 ways you can make a payment. 1, you can pay in full. $9.99. You have access to the REIT Accelerator. And there's one big bonus you're going to get when you finish. You can make 2 payments of $550. So what happens is you make the first payment now. 2 weeks later, the second payment of $550 will be processed. Or you can do Afterpay or Klarna, and you can do a customized payment plan. So you can pay over the next 30 days, over the next 6 months, over the next year. You can pick your customized plan. So go to amplify.link/REITACC to get in the REIT Accelerator right now before we shut the doors down on this cohort. Amplify, EMPIFY.com/link/REITACC. Now I want to show you guys Mandy because she was our REIT MVP. Mandy said she was exposed to another level, another investment vehicle. She was able to take what she learned about REITs and find out about warehouses, industrial REITs, retail REITs, office REITs, right? She's been able to build on top of other programs that she's taken in our app. She said it's another course that helped her commit to building her knowledge and education. It gave her the confidence to buy her first 2 REITs. She bought STAG, STAG, and MORT. It really opened my eyes to a world around me. I now see signs for REITs, and had it not been for this program, I don't know. I don't think I would have ever paid attention the way she's paying attention now. You graduate this REIT Accelerator, I promise you're never going to look at real estate again the same way. Amplify.link/REITACC. Now, when you get in, and you got to hurry up because these are fast action bonuses from the moment you are watching this class. You need to get in. Now, here's what you're going to get. You're also going to get the top apps to use as a beginner investor. How many of you comment monthly in the chat if you want to get paid every month? I literally got paid 5 times in the month of May from all my dividend paying investments. We have a guide that breaks down the 5 REITs that will pay you monthly. That'll show you which REITs they are, give you the details behind a full breakdown to find the web. I'll give you the websites of the REITs, the property types, everything you need, the top 5 REITs that are paying every single month. Go to amplify.link/REIT-ACC. Now, here's the important thing I need you to know. When you finish the REIT Accelerator, you're going to get a special invitation to come into REIT Street. Now, REIT Street is our advanced group for all graduates. Now, that comes at no additional cost. But in order to get into REIT Street, you must graduate. Once you graduate, everything's locked in. You're going to get a special invitation. You're going to get an additional 6 months of access to REIT Street. Now, this is where we bring in CEOs of REIT Street. CEOs. We had the CEO of GNL, that REIT that was $8. He came in to talk to our REIT Street members. You're going to get invited to conferences like we did in New York City with all of our REIT Street, our REIT Accelerator graduates. You're going to get invited to our in-person events. You're going to get invited to deep dives and case studies that we do. That REIT Street is not for beginners. It's for the people who are investors, the people who are making passive income. So you're going to be in a room with people making thousands of dollars of passive income with REITs, but you get invited only when you graduate. And that comes at no additional cost, but you will be invited to be a part of REIT Street. So go to amplify.link/REIT-ACC. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to give away $500 to somebody who gets in the REIT Accelerator right now. $500. The team is going to pick somebody who gets in the REIT Accelerator. And we're going to fund the first start of your REIT portfolio. So you're going to come out of the REIT Accelerator already making passive income, because we're going to give you $500 to fund your REIT portfolio. So amplify.link/REIT-ACC. Those of you who pay in full we're going to pick one person that gets selected to be inside. Yes, just one person, but we're going to pick. So if you get in, the team is going to pick someone that gets in, and we're going to give away $500. But you got to be here. Faith, no, you do not. Now, those of you who pay in full, there are 2 more bonuses we have for you. 2 more bonuses that we have for you. How many of you want to know what REITs to even start with? Comment me. Actually, what REIT should I be thinking about? There's a guide that you're going to get the top 25 REITs to consider for cash flow. It's a list of large organizations. It's a list of the REITs that you can buy now. It includes how many properties each of these companies own. It has the links and the breakdown. So you don't have to go try to figure out, well, which REITs are giving me high cash flow? We put the top 25 REITs in that guide. The other bonus you're going to get, this is for those who pay in full. Those of you who use Afterpay and Klarna, you still qualify for these bonuses. You do. They're also going to get the REITs I Own portfolio walkthrough. Now, this is where I walk through the REITs that I own. I'm going to break down the REIT that I own that pays me 15%. I'm going to break down the REIT that I sold that I didn't want to own anymore. The breakdown of REIT that I want to invest in that's going to give me about a 40% return, and then I'm going to get rid of it. So I'm going to break down what I invest in, why I invest in it, right? So amplify.link/REIT-ACC. Remember, you can pay in full, $9.99. You're locked in. REIT Street, all the bonuses are included. Or you can do 2 payments of $550. One right now, the second one 2 weeks from now. The moment you are in, start the REIT Accelerator. Or you can use Klarna and Afterpay, where you can do a customized payment plan. You could do 3 months, 6 months. You can do a year. You can pick your customized plan based on what you select. So here's a breakdown of what you get. Again, amplify.link/REIT-ACC. Also, if you have questions, comment in the chat. I am here. Ask the question. I want to make sure I answer your questions. You get access to the REIT Accelerator and REIT Street. You get access to the top 5 REITs that pay you monthly. Now, when you get inside of the app, right at the top, you're going to see all the bonuses. Right at the top of the program, in the course, you're going to see all the bonuses. Now, You're also going to get the top 25 REITs and consider for highest cash flow. So the moment you get in, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to literally get over 25 investment ideas. You're going to get the top apps to use as an investor. You're going to get the REITs that I own walkthrough, where I'm breaking down the REITs that I own. Shout out to Miss Sylvia Johnson. I saw you just get inside the app. Shout out to Sylvia Johnson, who's in the REIT Accelerator. Go to amplify.link/REITACC. Now, in the next 45 days, here's what's going to look like for you guys. The next 45 days. The next 45 days, you're going to have a week-by-week breakdown of how to build your REIT portfolio so that you can start to make that extra income so that you don't have to work for the rest of your life, so that you can do this with ease. So you're not trying to figure out, actually, what do I buy? Where do I buy it? It's now pre-recorded sessions, live sessions. We have around-the-clock support so you can get your questions answered. I'm in that app every single day with you guys, every day. Now, within 45 days, you're going to make your REIT investment. Within 45 days, you are going to become a REIT investor. You're going to come out of this program as a graduate making passive income. Within 90 days, you can expect your first dividend payment. How many of you want the level of comfort saying, Ashley, I want to dedicate 3 hours a week, less than 2% of my life, to make sure that I have these companies that are going to pay me for the rest of my life? So within 90 days, you are going to have somebody pay you some money, depending on what company you invest in. By the time you graduate, from the moment you buy your first REIT, within 90 days, you're going to get a deposit in that brokerage account that you have. You're going to have the resources you need in that step-by-step support. Just in case you are busy, replays are available. Just in case you feel like you got to break down all your time, you don't have to do it all at the same time. You can move at your own pace or follow our timeline. Our classes, literally, some of them are in the afternoon, some of them are in the evening, some of them are during the week. It varies because there's thousands of people inside of our app. So all of that you'll see inside of your account. Amplify.link/REITACC. Now, here's what I want to show you guys. I want to show you guys Stephanie Oden. Stephanie Oden took this exact same class, and she didn't start with a lot of money. She has gone through this program. She has graduated this program. She said that this program was different from other programs. We're getting information and knowledge to equip us to make the best decision for where we were. You can actually move and grow at your own pace. And so those of you are like, hey, I want to retire. Comment, I'm retiring, in the chat. How many of you took this class because you want passive income to retire? How many of you took this class so you can put your family in a better position? How many of you took this class because you just want to make some extra money, but you feel like you've been spinning your wheels, robbing Peter to pay Paul, and you're not sure? So I want to show you guys Stephanie Oden and listen to her words and understand, because I need all of you to understand you are just like her. You are just like her. And remember, amplify.link/REITACC. I'm giving away $500 to someone who gets in the REIT Accelerator literally now. All right, let's show Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Oden, and I've been with the Wealth Builders community for 5.5 months. And the thing that I've noticed about the REIT Accelerator program is that it was different from other programs. I've been to other workshops. Their whole goal was to get me to buy their portfolio or buy their service. Well, the thing that I like about the REIT Accelerator program and the Wealth Builders community is we were getting information and knowledge to equip us to make the best decision for where we were. You could actually move and grow at your own pace. The biggest that flipped the switch immediately for me was when I heard Ashley talk about you don't save your way to wealth. It just, everything clicked. And you know what? I had $50 when I started. I invested $50. Ashley said we could do it with $50. I did it with $50. I have a portfolio now. I have a brokerage account. I am bold in my knowledge and understanding. It changed my shopping habits. Now, when I shop, I don't shop for things. I shop for REITs. So if you want to know about some of those things, you definitely want to be in the next REIT Accelerator. And I look forward to welcoming you to our community.
How many of you want to start with $50? How many of you want to move at your own pace? And so I like listening to Stephanie, because she gives you a different perspective, because everybody feels like you got to have it all together. You have to like be perfect and have a ton of money. But I'm gonna let you know this, guys. The Read Accelerator is closing. We are shutting the doors down, and we will not be opening this program possibly at the end of the year, maybe next year. It took us a year to open this program back up. But here's what I want you to understand. What you don't want to do is wait, and then all the REIT prices go up and they're more expensive. And now you're getting in a higher price point. And so while we are in the position where REIT prices are down, you can go look up their charts now. Look at Realty Income. Realty Income used to be around $80. Now it's like $50. It was around $80 pre-pandemic. So this is your opportunity to get in the REIT Accelerator, to learn how to invest, to learn how to build. But I'm telling you now, we're shutting this down. This is my last class teaching this. So you have to make a decision. And once we hit, I think we have about 75 slots left. Once we hit capacity, we got to shut it down. And so I wanted to show you guys Darlene, right? Because Darlene, she finished this thing in 4 days. I don't know. In Amplify history, we've never seen this. And so she said, I did the Read Accelerator and it was fire. I picked up so many jewels from Rob's videos, the bonus sessions, the lives, the replay sessions, the special guests were mind blowing. Once I started, I locked in for 4 days straight. That's how intense and valuable this information is that we share. Completing this class has accelerated my level of investment. I need you guys to get in the app, and we need to bring Darlene in here and ask her how she finished this program literally in 4 days. Now, you don't have to do it in 4 days, but we recommend knocking this out within 45. But even if it takes you a little longer than 45 days, that's fine, as long as you finish. Everybody comment in the chat, I'm graduating. Everybody comment in the chat, I'm growing, I'm building. And here's the thing, the Read Accelerator, you now have access to a blueprint. You have access to a blueprint where you don't have to figure this out on your own. We've already broken it all down. We have an entire platform where we're literally about to have another graduation happen literally in a matter of a couple of weeks, but you have access to this real time in the palm of your hand. So now it's about getting yourself into a space where you're building. So one, when you get into the Read Accelerator, even if it takes you longer than 45 days, you still have access. But here's what's important. I want you to hurry up and finish so you can get in the Read Street. And that is a special invite that you'll get that at no additional cost. Is there a payment plan option? Yes. Go to amplify.link/READACC. You can do 2 payments of $550, one now, the second one in 2 weeks. Or you can do Klarna or Afterpay. Go to amplify.link/READACC and just click the buy now, pay later option. Or you can pay in full, where you're going to get those 2 extra bonuses, a walkthrough of the REITs that I own, the top 25 REITs that you can consider for high cash flow, right? If you have questions, you can come to office hours. You can submit with the help desk. You can write on the timeline. You can send us an email. We work around the clock because the goal is to make sure, one, you finish what you started. And also, 2, there's no way we have partnerships with organizations like NAREIT if we don't produce results. So when you come into this Read Accelerator and you graduate, you will have passive income. You will have a portfolio. You will have a strategy that helps you get to the passive income goal you want to get to, right? Now, when you get in the Read Street, that is our advanced group. That is where you're around people making thousands of dollars. They've already gone through the Read Accelerator. Some of them have been in Read Street for 2 years, right? Now, buy now, pay later when you go to amplify.link/READACC, right? Now, when you go there, you are able to do the buy now, pay later option. You can build a customized plan for 3 months, 6 months, or a year, or less, depending on what you want to do. And then let me tell you this. This is not for everybody. So I see Derek say, hey, I can't afford it. That's fine. It might not be for you right now. But let me tell you this. If we feel like we can't afford to invest in ourselves now, it's going to be worse when the economy starts to change. Because what got you here won't get you there. Those of you who want to build passive income, those of you who want to show up for yourself, I'm going to meet you halfway. This is exactly how I get down in the app. This is exactly how I teach, what I do, and I love what I do. But when we shut the Read Accelerator down, it's over. We will not be opening this back up. Maybe the end of the year, possibly in 2026. So you have to make a decision, and there are only 75 spots left. So go to amplify.link/READ ACC to get in the Read Accelerator. Now, question: do you guys want me to walk through the app? You guys want to see what the app looks like? How many of you want to see what the Read Accelerator looks like? How many want to know, Ashley, is this real? And by the time we come back, we're going to give away the $500 for someone we're going to give away $500 to somebody who gets in the Read Accelerator right now. All right. Zelford just says yes. All right. Shout out to Tanya, who's inside of the Read Accelerator. All right. So let me share my screen. I'm going to show you guys the Read Accelerator right now. Hold on. I'm going to show you guys the Read Accelerator so you can see what it looks like on the inside. All right, let me share my screen. Hold on 1 second. And hurry up and get in, because once I come back, I'm giving away the $500. All right, here we go. Can you guys see my screen? All right, here we go. Here's the Read Accelerator, guys. Now, what's going to happen? You're going to go right here. This is the About section. I'm going to break down the basics to the Read Accelerator so you know how to see those bonuses, get your downloads, things like that, right? So here you're going to go to the course. This is where everything is. So the moment you get into the course, you see your bonus materials right here. You're going to click in here. This is where you are going to see all the bonus materials. So this is a walkthrough of the REITs that I own session. Right there, watch it right here. The top apps to use as an investor. Go ahead and click here. It'll download to your device. You can access the Read Accelerator through your iPad, through your cell phone, and on your computer to take the program. Now, here are the top 25 REITs to consider for cash flow. Go right here, download it to your device. The top 5 REITs that will pay you monthly. There you go. Download it to your device. So just this alone gives you access to all the bonuses. And you got Meet Your Instructors. Scroll down a bit and let's go. So here are the prep step details. Those of you who are brand new. Now, we're going to go to step 1, right? Every step in the Read Accelerator has a guide. So it literally will supplement everything that you need to support you when watching the session. So here's step 1. You can download it here. So now we're going to go to class. What is a REIT, right? We're going to break it down. You want to pay attention to this. When you click play here, I think Rob might be teaching this session. This session here is 48 minutes. You can pause it, rewind it, fast forward it, but make sure you lock in. You need 3 hours a week. It'll give you enough time to watch the session and a replay of it if you want to, but it also gives you time to implement everything we teach you during the session. It gives you time to go through all the bonuses. So every step you're going to see hot topics, right? So hot topics are extra bonuses that you have. So we do a REIT.com walkthrough right here where you can learn the ins and outs of how to maneuver through REIT.com, right? We break down different scenarios in the economy to how you adapt to REITs based off of what happens in the economy. So every single step is here. It'll unlock as you progress. So go to amplify.link/REIT ACC, EMPIFY.link/REIT ACC. Those of you who pay in full, you have extra bonuses that you are going to get. By step 5, you're going to become a REIT investor, right? There's a shopping spree. There's a lot of things that we have. Rob gives you a breakdown of his portfolio. We have the shopping spree. There's so many resources in here. So now let me go back to the top. When you go to the feed, so this is where you see where everyone is. This is where we talk every single day. So we got a shopping spree that's coming up. You see everybody's posting on, I think it's a shopping spree today. The shopping sprees today. People are buying REITs. Vicky bought some REITs. Yvonne bought some REITs. Okay, it's 25 comments. So a lot of people bought some REITs. A lot. This is everybody shopping during the REIT shopping spree. This is me. This is what I posted I posted this yesterday. Breaking down tips and resources for you guys so that you start to understand. This is thank you for the way you break things down. Sometimes I need it explained like I'm a 5-year-old. Thank you, Ashley. I really appreciate all the tips you continue to provide. They're always helpful and informative. So again, we're in the app. I'm in this app every single day with you guys. Every single day. Here's another post that I gave you guys. Great tip. I'm going to do this, Ashley. Great idea. Let's see. Here we go. I completed step 1. Karen says, I just opened my brokerage. So we're talking on the timeline every day, guys. Every single day, I'm giving you tips. I'm giving you resources. This Sandra right here, she just made a bunch of, she just bought a bunch of REITs. Deborah bought some REITs again. Oh, no. Okay. These people completed the shopping spree. So again, you're going to see all the people. The other thing you want to do when you get inside the app, right? Once you're in, go to the members section. Let me scroll up to the top. This is where you can see all the people that are near you, the new people here, the different professions people have. So these are all the people that are in the Atlanta area where I am. We have 1 account executives. We got 25 new people. We got some accountants in here. This is where you can start to connect and see who's near you. You have access to all from executives to moms to people in their 70s to people in their 80s. We have people from all walks of life from all over the world that you have access to. Now, once you graduate, you're going to get invited to Reach Street, which is right here. This is the how to become a Reach Street Elite member. We got all types of stuff for you guys. There's so many things. And this comes at no additional cost. So go to amplify.link/REITACC. You're going to get invited into Reach Street once you guys finish. All right. Now, I want to get back in here with you guys. Are there any questions? Anybody need help? Anybody on the fence? Anybody not sure? Anybody need, I want to make sure I'm going back through the chat to make sure I answer the questions. All right. Ronnie says, I'm signed up. I'm excited. Ronnie, create your profile. Let's lock in and start doing these sessions. Amplify.link/REITACC. Now, what if you don't have time? The good thing about the REIT Accelerator, you can move at your own pace. But I'm going to tell you this. If you don't understand how important it is for you to build passive income, how important it is to start with what you have to build the income that you need to create the life that you want, I can't do anything for you. How many of you feel like you've been trying programs, you've been trying it on your own, you've been getting more than one job, but you still feel like you're not where you need to be? Nobody's still paying you passive income. Here's the thing about the REIT Accelerator. One, it is almost a practically done for you program. We give you the guide you need, the resources you need, the step-by-step education. If you thought this class was easy, that's exactly how we teach in the REIT Accelerator. That's exactly why thousands of people have graduated this program. That's exactly why we're about to have another graduation and a bunch of people are going to be graduating and getting their gifts. So when you go to amplify.link/REITACC, one, you can pay in full, $9.99. You are locked in with us. In addition to taking that REIT Accelerator, you'll have an additional 6 months of access to Reach Street at no additional cost, where we're doing more sessions, more case studies, have more guests to be able to support you as you grow your passive income over time. How many of you feel like you need a mentor? Comment, I need a mentor, right? No, great question, Faye. Do you pay for Reach Street too? No, nobody pays for Reach Street. It is you only get invited when you finish. Only get invited when you finish the REIT Accelerator, right? Now, understand this program is not for everybody. So if you are not ready to be stretched, please don't come in the REIT Accelerator. If you are not ready to be pushed outside of your comfort zone, you do not belong in the REIT Accelerator. 1, because I'm going to hold you accountable. 2, I'm going to monitor your progress. 3, I'm going to pick up the phone to call you if I see you're slacking. Because the one thing we value at Amplify, we're getting better every single day, is making sure you cross the finish line. You're not going to come into the REIT Accelerator, make the investment to be in the REIT Accelerator and just quit. If you are somebody who procrastinates, you don't want to get in the REIT Accelerator. If you are somebody that does not want to push themselves to be able to have passive income because you deserve to have passive income, you don't want to be in the REIT Accelerator. This program is for people who want to be committed, for people who want to show up for themselves. So go to amplify.link/REITACC. We did a sneak peek inside of the app. Are we ready to give away the $500 to someone who got in the, I'm going to give you guys about 90 seconds. Hurry up and get in the REIT Accelerator. I'm giving away $500 to fund somebody's portfolio. Amplify.link/REITACC. What if I've never invested before? That means you need to be in the REIT Accelerator. If you are only spending money, if you are only out here saving money, you are not in a position to ensure you never have to work again a day in your life. The REIT Accelerator gives you the blueprint, the step-by-step process so that you're not doing this on your own. You're creating the wealth you need to, 1, pass it down, to supplement your retirement, to put you in a position to have the money you need so that you don't have to work for the rest of your life. Shout out to Gabrielle, who's inside the REIT Accelerator. Hold on. Okay, wait. Shout out to Juanita, who's inside the Read Accelerator. Anybody on the fence? Anybody have any questions? Now, remember, when you get in, yes, you can use buy now, pay later. So you can break your payments up over the course of 3 months, over a year. It's a customized payment plan that you are able to do. But if you are doing buy now, pay later, you do qualify for the bonuses. Shout out to Ellen for getting inside the Read Accelerator. Or you can do a payment plan, 2 payments of $550, 1 payment now, and then the second payment will be 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now. Taylor, I would try to refresh your screen. It might be your browser. I know there's a lot of people coming in. Now, I want to show you guys Lynn. After Lynn, ladies and gentlemen, we're giving away the $500. So go to amplify.link/readacc. I want to show you Lynn because the important thing about Lynn, ladies and gentlemen, she is in her 70s. So if you feel like it is too late, there's a woman in her 70s who graduated this Read Accelerator, a woman in her 70s who's making passive income, a woman in her 70s who's supplementing the money she's making for retirement. So if this woman can take our program and finish, then I know it is possible for you to be able to do this. So Lynn said, all the knowledge, thank you to all the knowledge she gained inside the Read Accelerator. She's been able to make a significant jump in catching up on acquiring passive income for retirement. Rob has the both expert knowledge and unique teaching ability to break down information so you can easily apply it to your investment strategy goals. She had no prior knowledge to REITs, but now she owns GNL, DLR, SPG, Vici, all the REITs we talked about during this class. But her most important skill that she learned was how to research a REIT and different stocks before she invested. Every session that Rob or Ashley had or has been instrumental in helping me hone my investment skills. I'm a novice investor, but hooked for life with the Amplify team to do it right. If this woman can make passive income, ladies and gentlemen, you can't tell me you cannot do this. And so I want to show you guys, Lynn. So go to amplify.link/readacc, but I want to show you Lynn because every time I listen to this woman, every time I connect with this woman, I am honored and inspired by her resilience to be able to get this done. So let me show you guys Lynn.
If a community of everyone, it doesn't just have to be a certain type of community, but all of us as people. We're not, to me, anything more than just human beings. And I so love being in this group. I feel a part of a family and a community for once in my life of like-minded people. And like-minded people have power and can do a lot, not just with money, but because of the love and the sentiment that we can be together. And as far as I'm concerned, you will all be my family until I take my last breath. And I can't thank you enough, Rob, for all your teaching. And I'm going to stay in this community for the rest of my days and invest in whatever is the next best thing to do. And I thank you all very, very much, because this has been the most pleasurable thing I have done, regardless of my career and everything else. So thank you.
All right, now, every time, first off, when she spoke at the graduation, I was in tears, by the way. It was very inspiring because it made me realize if there's anything that I'm going through or anything I want to accomplish, if this woman can get through this, invest, be in her 70s and wake up every day and be in our app and finish and take classes and build her income and be mentors to other people, it is possible for us to get this done. And so here's what I want to do. I want to announce the winner. So here's how it works. 1, amplify.link/readacc. You have 3 options to pay for the Read Accelerator. 1, you can pay in full, $9.99. When you pay in full or do Klarna or Afterpay, You have access to everything on this screen. You have the top 5 REITs that pay you monthly, the top apps to use as a beginner investor, the top 25 REITs for the highest cash flow, so that you're not trying to find the REITs on your own. There's a guide that has it all in there. You're also going to get access to a session where I break down the top REITs that I own, and why I invested in those REITs, what REITs I sold, what REITs I have, and why I'm investing in them. Not just knowing what I bought, but understanding the sign. I break down exactly why, right? You're also going to get access to Reach Street the moment you finish. Reach Street is our graduate advanced group. You do not have to pay. It is no additional cost to get into Reach Street, but you have to get invited when you finish. You can do Klarna or Afterpay, Amplify.link/REITACC. Click the buy now, pay later option. Shout out to Rod. Shout out to Christine, who's inside the REIT Accelerator. When you get in, everything happens immediately. But here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. You have 72 hours, or when we sell out of this program, to get in the REIT Accelerator. So make a decision. I am not about, this is a big program for us. We have a lot of big partnerships coming up. It takes a lot to run this program. So you better hurry up and get in. We have those 75 slots left. If they fill up, we got to shut it down. You have within it, we're closing the doors from the moment you watch this class. You got 72 hours to get in, or we're going to be shutting this down. Or if we sell out, one or the other. I'm not sure, because I'm not sure how many people are in the REIT Accelerator right now. So go to Amplify.link/REITACC. You can also do a payment plan. 2 payments of $550. The first payment now, the second one 2 weeks from now. Now, I need to announce the winner. All right, team. So here are the rules. The team is going to pick someone who got inside the REIT Accelerator. We are giving away $500 to someone in the REIT Accelerator. Now, in order to win the money, you have to be present. If we call your name, you have to say, I am here in the chat. We're going to look for you. If you do not show up, we will have to move forward. And if we call somebody else's name, you're going to miss out. Now, Amplify.link/REITACC. Get in now. If you do Klarna or Afterpay, yes, you can still get in the REIT Accelerator. So, drum roll. Everybody comment drum roll in the chat. And those of you working to get in, you better hurry up and get in now. The team is about to pick the winner. Now, what we're going to do is give you $500. You're going to have to send us an email, tell us how you want the money. We're going to start and fund your first REIT portfolio. All right, are we ready? You got to be here to win the $500. Are we ready? All right, team, let me know who the winner is. Go to Amplify.link/REITACC. All right, here we go. The winner is Veronica Glass. Is Veronica Glass inside this session with us? Do we see now? If Veronica's not here, we still got some time that somebody else can win. Amplify.link/REITACC. Is Veronica Glass in Veronica 1? Do we see Veronica? Hold on, let's look for Veronica. And if you have any questions in the meantime, if you guys have any questions in the meantime, let me know. Put it in the chat. Do we see Veronica Glass inside the REIT Accelerator? I'm sorry, inside this session? Do we see Veronica? Do we see Veronica? Amplify. All right, wait. All right. If I don't see Veronica, guys, is she here? If she's not here, then that means it's an opportunity for somebody else. So if you're working to get in, get in. If you're working to get in now. Amplify. All right. Do we see Veronica? And remember, you have to be here to claim the prize. Do we see Veronica, guys? Do we see Veronica? I don't know if I see her. All right, wait. Is Veronica here? Is Veronica here? You have to be here to win the prize. You have to be here. Maria says, can I change my name to Veronica? Veronica. It's Veronica. All right. If Veronica's not here, we got to move on. We got to move on if Veronica's not here. All right. Team, do we see her? All right. All right. We do not see her. All right. All right. I'm going to give you another 60 seconds, maybe another 30 seconds. If you are working to get in, go to amplify.link/REITACC. If you are working to get in. All right. We don't see Veronica. So here we go. Drum roll. If you are working to get, it's another opportunity for you guys to re-enter. Another opportunity. Amplify.link/REITACC. Okay, wait. Hold on. Is Veronica Glass Ronnie Glass? Is that you? Ronnie Glass, are you Veronica Glass? Is that okay? So all right, Veronica, I've caught you. You didn't have your name as present. Okay, amplify.link Florence/REITACC. Select the payment plan option, Florence. There we go. Her name is Ronnie. All right, Veronica, you almost missed out. Veronica, do me a favor. Email info@amplify.com. We just put it on the screen for you. Send us an email and tell us if you have a Cash App, you got Zelle, PayPal. Send us the details of how you want us to pay you. And we will send you the money. Okay, we found her. All right, coast is clear, guys. We've had some time. I didn't want to have to go to somebody else. Is there anybody that have it? First of all, let's everybody say congratulations to Veronica. And those of you who are in the REIT Accelerator, she's in here with you. So Veronica, Miss Ronnie Glass, we're gonna hold you accountable because you are in the REIT Accelerator. You now have money to buy REITs. Now you need to finish. We need you to graduate. Everybody that's inside the REIT Accelerator, comment I'm in. If you are in the REIT Accelerator, comment I'm in. If you are inside the REIT Accelerator, comment I'm in. If you are inside the REIT Accelerator, comment I'm in. Those of you who are working on it, comment I'm working on it. If you are working on getting in the REIT Accelerator. Gabrielle says I'm in. Ellen says I'm in. Sylvia says I'm in. Jamira, Miss Bailey says I'm in. Sebastian says I'm in. I love it. Anybody comment working on it if you're working on it. Now, here's the deal. You have literally 72 hours to get in. We are shutting the doors down, shutting it down. This program, we can't run this program and open all these cohorts. Tanya says I'm in. Jesse says I'm in. I love it. Okay, I love it. Now, I'm going to do a quick recap so that everybody knows exactly what they get. One, if you are a parent and you want to build wealth for your family, you need to be in the REIT Accelerator. If you are an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, a godparent, you need to be in this REIT Accelerator. One, because what you're building for yourself, it needs to be passed down to your family, but also created. How many of you are the generational wealth creators in your family? Comment me in the chat. How many of you are the individual in your family that is going to have to change your family's financial situation? How many of you have people looking up to you and therefore it's on you to build the wealth that you need to take care of your family? Shout out to Miss Bailey says I'm in. Derek says I'm working on it. I love it. Make sure you guys are in before we shut the REIT Accelerator down. This is the last REIT class that I'm teaching, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're tuning into this class, this is your last chance to get in the REIT Accelerator. The last chance that you guys get. Now, if you are someone who is over 50, we call that the Golden Society at Amplify. Comment golden if you are in that Golden Society and you want to utilize REITs to build passive income. You want to utilize REITs to supplement your retirement. You want to utilize REITs to make sure you don't run out of money, right? So if you are over 50 years old, this is a place you need to be. One, because our oldest person in the app is 80. You already saw Lynn. She's in her 70s. So if you feel like you're behind, I understand. But I want you to know that the next year of your life, how many of you here's the thing. I want everybody to come out of REIT Accelerator with a game plan on how to make at least $1,000 in passive income so you can at least get the investment you made in the REIT Accelerator. One, you're going to come out the REIT Accelerator. knowing exactly what needs to be done to make sure you get $1,000 back from the investment that you made. And if you're making $1,000 in passive income, here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get that over and over and over and over and over and over again every single year. This is a way for you to put yourself in a financial position where you don't have to depend on anybody but the person in the mirror. This is for you to put yourself in a financial position that regardless of which way the president goes, you're able to play offense in a time when everybody gets scared. So go to amplify.link/REIT-ACC to get in the REIT Accelerator. 2 payments. You can do 2 payments of $550, one right now, one 2 weeks from now, or just use buy now, pay later. Space out your payments. But I'm going to tell you this. Do not come in the REIT Accelerator and play games. Do not come in the REIT Accelerator if you don't plan on graduating. Don't waste your time. I don't like when people come into our platform and they don't show up for themselves, because the sessions are there. The classes, the live sessions are already in the event section. More is to come. But this is the time you learn to build. This is the time you implement and grow. Everybody in the chat, comment is my time. Comment is my time in the chat. Comment is my time in the chat. Ronnie says, I'm going to finish on. All right, Ronnie, we're going to hold you to it. We're going to hold you to it now. We're going to hold you to it. Shout out to Rakasha, if I'm saying your name right. Gabrielle says it is my time. Are there any questions? I'm going to do one more quick walkthrough of what you get, and then I'm going back inside the app. Also, guys, everyone inside the REIT Accelerator, every single day at 9 a.m., I'm giving tips. I'm in the app with you guys. So make sure, even if you're just scrolling inside of the app, make sure you hop in the morning just to see the tip and the breakdown that I give you guys, because it's going to help you build your portfolio faster with everything that I break down. All right. So when you get in, those of you who pay in full and those of you who do buy now, pay later, you're going to get the top 5 REITs that can pay you monthly. You're going to get the top apps to use as an investor. You're going to get the top 25 REITs to consider for high cash flow. You're also going to get the REITs that I own walkthrough. I'm breaking down what I own, why I own it, so that you're clear on your strategy. Zelford, did you get a confirmation? Zelford, if you are in, you're going to get a confirmation. It's going to prompt you to create your account. Check your confirmation. Check your email. You'll get a confirmation when you're inside of it. And then once everybody's finished, no matter how you pay for the REIT Accelerator, you have an additional 6 months inside of REIT Street. Inside of REIT Street at no additional cost. That is essentially the advanced group, the graduate room, the group where everyone goes once they are finished the REIT Accelerator. Those are the more advanced conversations that you guys have. So go to amplify.link/REIT-ACC to get in. Anybody having trouble getting in? Everybody, now those of you who are in, check your email, please. Check your email, create your account, get in the app, start taking the sessions. You can start immediately. Amplify.link/REIT-ACC. Are there any questions before I hop off? Remember, if you are tuning in right now, watching this session, you have a 72-hour window to get in that REIT Accelerator or before our doors shut down. So make a decision. This program will not be coming around possibly for another year. We don't do this all the time. This is not a program we can do 24/7, not yet at least. So it takes us time to really put this together. Is the app available? Yep, Gabrielle. Yes, it is. You can download the Wealth Builders Community app, and it'll once you sign in, everything is there for you. Jesse says, I bought 2 REITs during this session. Jesse, make sure you're doing your research now. But I like it. Anybody having trouble? Anybody on the fence? I want to make sure before I hop off. Are we all good to go? Are there any questions? If you have any questions, send us an email, amplify.link. Sorry. If you have any questions, email us info@amplify.com to get in the REIT Accelerator. Zelford says, I'm having trouble. Zelford, send us an email to info@amplify.com, EMPIFY.com. Joseph says, I will be there no matter what. Let's get it done. Let's get it done, Joseph. Let's get it done. All right. We still got some people tuned in. Is everyone okay before I hop off? You got me. I want to make sure that I'm here to support you guys. Is everyone okay? Is everyone in here inside the REIT Accelerator? Did we learn something? Are we ready to lock in? Are we ready to grow? Okay, the chat is a little quiet. I just want to make sure before I hop off, I don't want to leave you guys. Everyone clear on the payment plans. Everyone clear on buy now, pay later. Everyone clear on the structure that you need. Okay. Someone says, I'm not sure who living near Dallas, Texas is, but we have a chapter in Dallas inside of our app that you could be a part of. But you said I sent the email. Okay, cool beans. All right, I'm good. EPR and GNL, I got this. I like it, Jesse. I like it. All right, checking in. Are we okay? Amplify.link/REITACC. Okay, all right. Ali's saying yes, ma'am. I just want to make sure. And Debbie says I'm working on it. All right, I'm working on it. Okay, Danny. Hey, Danny. I see you. Everybody clear on what you get? REIT Accelerator, you're in there. Immediately you can start. Can take you 45 days. You can follow our 45-day process, or you can move at your own pace. But it shouldn't take you long to finish. I want everybody to knock this out so you can get into REIT Street. You're going to be stuck with me for the whole year, ladies and gentlemen. So you better lock in and build this REIT portfolio so we can navigate the market. We can navigate this economy. We can navigate this president, still be able to build passive income. I need everybody to come out making at least $1,000 within their first year in passive income. But I'm pretty sure you can get past that easy, especially with REITs, All right. Amplify.link/REITACC. One payment of $9.99. You're good. Or you can do two payments of $550, or you can do two payments of $550, one now, the second one 2 weeks from now. Or you can do buy now, pay later, and you can space it out over 3 months, 6 months, a year. You can build a customized payment plan, and all of you will get access to the bonuses. But those of you who pay in full and or do buy now, pay later, you will have access to the REITs I Own walkthrough session, along with the top 25 REITs with the highest cash flow. All right, guys. If you need us, info at amplify.com, amplify.link/REITACC. Hurry up and get in before we shut these doors down. And let us know if you have any questions. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.
Class, we did this. This was awesome. I mean, the knowledge, the transfer of knowledge, this should have been going. This is how our ancestors used to do it. We didn't have pencil and paper and all that stuff. We transferred knowledge on to the next, generational knowledge.
I've never even heard of a REIT, so this is all new to me. And I'm very much humbled and appreciative of this community and everything that, all the information. Appreciate everything that all you guys do for us.
Lord, I'm just so thankful, man. I'm on top of the world right now. I'm ready to get into REIT Street. Y'all done created a monster. I'm gonna let you know this is what we needed. This is what I needed.
And this community just really taught me that you don't have to know everything to get started, because I'm the type of person where I always, I gotta do I want to know this. I want to know everything before I get myself involved. And you don't have to know everything to get started. Just do it.